हेलो डियर स्टूडेंट, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग वेल. मैं आशा करता हूँ आप लोग अच्छे से पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. सो डियर स्टूडेंट, प्लीज कंफर्म मी वेदर माय वॉइस इज ऑडिबल और नॉट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द डिस्कशन. सो योर कंफर्मेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हेलो डियर स्टूडेंट, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. सो डियर स्टूडेंट, yes, now everything is okay. So my voice is also audible. So dear student, once again, very good morning to all of you. And I'm hoping that you all are doing well and working very hard towards your study. So today we are going to discuss about 22nd August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So dear student, let me before starting the discussion, let me give you something, discuss something. So this newspaper is not designed for our UPSC, so we are going to see how each and every article is relevant for our examination. So we have removed all this unnecessary political irrelevant portion of this newspaper analysis, and we always keep only the information that is important for our examinations. So by using that infographics edition, you can remove, reduce 3 hours of newspaper just in 45 minutes, yet you'll not lose any information. So if you are reading small information in a very few words, that is what going to be helpful to remember most of thing, and you can also make note of it. Okay, so these are the main intention behind preparing this infographics edition or reading this infographics editions. Okay, so one second. Yes. So, and one more thing, during the discussion, I'm going to give you task, a lot of tasks, like, 10 to 15 tasks. So, during the discussion, please note them down. And after the completion of discussion, so please do some, research on these topics and make note of it. So these are either important for your prelims, mains, or interview. So mostly, so if you are following that religiously, you will get around 20 to 30 marks extra in your prelims. So that is what I have done in all my attempts. So I have cleared 5 prelims, so you can also clear that. And I'm also going to give you hints, like, how they can be asked in mains, what kind of things you can use, introduction, conclusion, body, fact, support. So that can also, you can note them down. So if you are following religiously, as compared to other student, you can get 80 plus marks also. So please be serious and utilize this newspaper very efficiently, so that that can help you to get good rank and become an IS officer. Chaliye start karte hain. So how you can get this PDF? So you can simply scan this QR code to download our application, and that application, not the today PDF or last 1 year, more than even a 2 year PDF available there. You can download from there. So next is those who are using iOS device, so you can download Class Plus application and use Orgo code as PKR image to get something whatever available in the Android application. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So first important news is, and you can also scan our Telegram group. So there you'll get the PDF of the Hindu and Indian Express. चलिए start करते हैं. Should Supreme Court sit powerless edge governor block bill? This is what said by the Chief Justice of India. So if you look into Article 200, Article 200 of Indian Constitution provide for ascending of a bill. So when bill is present before the governor, governor give assent to the bill, bill became act. You can withhold, then it is rejection of the bill. It can return to the state legislative assembly for reconsideration. State legislative assembly can pass. In that case, governor has to pass this bill. Next is, it can resolve the bill for president consideration. Okay, so if this is what the controversy, whenever bill is presented before the governor, if bill is withheld by the governor without any action, so that means end of the bill. So just imagine if a democratically, we are living in a democratic world where elected government passed a bill with people mandate, passed a bill with people mandate, but governor blocking that bill. So in that case, it is, don't you think that it is the violation of the democracy? So that is what the Supreme Court judges, they asking to the the attorney general or central representative. But center is of the view that the governor is given this discretionary power to ensure that the law that is being passed by the state government that are in sync with the constitution, to ensure that state administration, state machinery are functioning in a way that is in sync with the constitution. So that is what, that is what the argument that is being going on between the Supreme Court and the central ports, center or the Attorney General. So when court has passed, set aside very constitutional amendment, 42nd constitutional amendment. So I think you need to know about 42nd constitutional amendment act. This is also called as mini constitution because so many provisions have been changed in this constitution, in this amendment. So it is called mini constitution. Even in that 42nd constitutional amendment act, it is taken away the judicial review power also. It is said that if Parliament passed any law that became the final act, it cannot be questioned in any court of law. Okay? So, dear student, please confirm my voice is audible or not. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is simplification, simplified two rate GST structure get govern the group of minister note. So recently our government is planning to simplify the GST structure from multiple structure like 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. We are planning to merge that with two rates. One is 5% and 18% and 40%. So it is for very few seen goods, only seven goods will be there and majority of either 5% or 18%. So that is what led to the simplification and it will improve our consumption also. So group of minister on the rate rationalization of the GST have decided to accept the center two rate structure proposal for GST, will recommending this to GST council, the government, group of minister chairperson and deputy. This is first proposal must be passed before implementation of the second step. That means there is a consensus we need to be built among the state so that we can pass this structure. So it was the center proposals to end the slab 12 and 28% and will subsume that in the other rate. So after rationalization, the weight average of GST rate, effective rate is expected to decline from notional rate of 14.4% to 9.5%. So whenever I'm just going to explain in a Laffer curve. So I think you all know about Laffer curve. This is a curve that is called Laffer. So percentage of tax collection versus tax rate. If tax rate is too high, then our collection is also very low. If tax rate is low, collection is also very high. So we have to find an optimum tax rate where tax collection will be very high, because if rate is optimum, that prevent what the avoidance, that prevent the avoidance of tax and more consumption of people. So more tax collection. So that is the reason government is planning to bring it in the peak rate, so that without compromising our tax collection. Okay, chaliye. So USA asked India to buy oil from the Russia. Jaishankar said in the Moscow. So USA is they acting like a bully. Try to say that every or each and every country has to follow our dictum, otherwise we will take action. So whenever USA want, it can sanction India against Iran, not to buy oil. Whenever it want India not to buy oil from the Venezuela, it can say to that. USA is having a mentality that he can US can dictate anything. So that is what the problem for all over the world. So United States ask India to do everything to stabilize global energy market, including buying oil from the Russia, and later US acquisition have perplexed India. India is quite quite confused what is going on. On the one hand you are saying buy the Russian oil, on the other hand you are saying India is the largest buyer of Russian oil that is funding the war against the Ukraine. So New Delhi energy policy, as India deal with the aftermath of the penalty imposed by the Donald Trump. Donald Trump threatened to impose 50% of penalty on Indian exports. So Jaishankar met President Vladimir Putin and Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov and highlighted India's plan to access Russian market and called for faster processing cases of Indian who are fraudulently recruited fighting in Russia and army in Ukraine. So two things is our agenda. First one is, on the one hand we are facing threat in access to the USA market, while we are facing threat in the USA market. So we want opening of the Russian market faster. Okay. Second one is some of the Indians are recruited in Russian army some of the Indians are recruited in Russian army to fight against the Ukraine. We also want they should be returned as soon as possible. We are a country where American have said that last few years that we should do anything to stabilize the world energy market, including buying from the Russia. But now they are imposing sanctions. You can see how double standard USA is. So silent only embolden bully China envoy to the India. So China is supporting India in the tariff against that is being imposed by the Donald Trump India. Just they is said that you cannot trust on China. Simple. Taking aim at USA for imposing 50% tariff on Indian goods, Chinese ambassador to India so said that China will firmly stand with India of all trade organization. Oh, जैसे होता है ना क्रोकोडाइल टीयर आप अभी भी देख सकते हो द स्पीच अबाउट द Shanghai Cooperation Organization September. So why they are saying why China is supporting India, because they want there should be a joint statement or joint condemnation of US tariff. So because tariff is more hurting to the China, and China want to prevent the relation strong strategic relation between India and USA, and it is considered this is a good moment to distance India from the USA so that they cannot face any threat. So in the face of such act, silence or compromise only embolden the bully. So Assam government to stop issuing first time Aadhaar to its adult from October. So this is what said by the Chief Minister, because Assam believe that so many people are they have Aadhaar card, they've accepted the Aadhaar card fraudulent means, and that can be a way for becoming the citizen of India. And Assam is facing the coming of the migrant, illegal migrant, and crisis because of so many people from the Bangladesh coming here. Okay. So next is the well water could be the source of infection for PAM. Okay, so health department officials are checking well water could be a source of infection. One of the recently reported the primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. Primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. This is what called PAM. So this is a brain. This is a disease where the amoeba once enter into our brain, it start eating the brain, and then later on that can cause killing of the person also. So the amoeba that cause this disease is called Naegleria fowleri. So the infection causing organism was detected in well on the premises of the household the 3-year-old. Now this Naegleria fowleri is not only found on the stagnant water like pond, it's also found in the well. So that is what led to the threat among the people that can be cause severe problems to the people's health also. So Kerala, India's first fully digitally literate state. So dear, you need to know about that. In state PCS exam, they can ask about this kind of state. So which state became the fully digital literate state? So that means all people are digitally literate. It is not only about literate, it's about how to use digital things they know about. Okay. So once a week, collectorate courtyard in Sikkim, Namchi, turn into a the melting pot of artisan farmers selling the ware. So this is a model initiative you can write in your essay ethics. Once the collector premises, it is being open to everyone so that they can establish their this stall there, and with the promise that they have to sold everything in a non-plastic manner, and they have to maintain that clean. So that led to the so many vendors, they are getting employment, and also encouraging interaction with the government officials. And also whenever you are establishing so many stall in the collector office premises, so that also attracted peoples to visit the collector office. And this collector office is meant for the people, so that means it will bring more closer to the government, to the people. So that is what the benefits. So please read it very carefully. It is very important for your ethics model answer, how innovative way you can find solutions of problem of unemployment, how efficient way you can find solution of the helpful to the local help self-help group. So next is Dal Lake host first ever Khelo India water games with eye on Olympics. So Dal Lake, it is located in the so the picturesque and iconic Dal Lake, Srinagar, on the host first ever race under the rowing and kayaking. So you have to study about India is planning to host 2036 Olympic. So we need some particular events that can be sufficient for hosting this water sports of the Olympics. So now our Dal Lake can be a good site for that, and already that Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir, a beautiful place. So place we can utilize that to promote water sports. So that is what That is what government is eyeing. So dear student, you have to study about the Dal Lake. So Dal Lake is fed by which river and its location. What are the significant species found there? So what are the threat they are facing? How it can be promoted as a tourist hub? So all these things you have to study about it. Okay. So Dal Lake. So here a lot of water sports activity can be promoted. Like you can see here something like rowing, kayaking, the canoeing, okay, category of the water sports festival. So if we are able to maintain that and we are successfully maintain this and created infrastructure, then we can able to attract or bid for the Olympic in 2036. So the weight of being a mango man. So the if you look into Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh, second largest mango producing district, the farmer face multiple issue. Then you have to study about first mango producing district now. So which district is the largest mango producing district of the India? You have to study it. So face multiple issue, instability price after the COVID-19 lockdown. So after COVID-19 lockdown, so they are not getting their price. So next is overuse of pesticides. So overuse of pesticides. So next is the plant growth a regulator that diminish the quality of fruits and control of the middleman over the market. So earlier mango were bright and tasty and sweet. Now the taste are missing probably because of overuse of the pesticide. So you can see. So we need to turn our agricultural produce towards organic so that we can maintain taste consistency and good market value of our product. चलिए चलते हैं लास्ट पेज को. So the ugly side of India's unregulated cosmetology. So cosmetology means designer industry. You know that now there is a hair plantation, there is something like skin glowing. So these kind of industry are proliferating in India without having proper regulation. So that led to so many people are suffering from all these things now. So the with such cleaning mushrooming across the country, doctors stress the need for regulation to safeguard the patient. Their government they say that government should ensure that only qualified practitioners are performing procedure, clinical license and properly equipped, while the misleading claim and exaggerated advertisement are curtailed. So you know that if you are doing something in your face, if you are doing some using some lotion or hair transplantation, so that may cause severe infection. So you can see about here it's an incident given. So with wellness sector booming in India, market worth is 2.5 billion in 2024. So projected to boom 4 billion by 2033 as per the market research company IMAC. So if you look into wellness is now big business because people are thinking about their body, their color, they are safe, because of the social media selfie culture. So social media and appearance related pressure, this is exacerbated by widespread mistaken perception that cosmetic procedure are easy and safe. So that is what led to the rising cosmetic market. The problem is with this clinic is two fronts. They are run by the practitioner who are not qualified to perform particular procedure. They are unlicensed, unregistered and lacking tie off with the full-fledged medical center. Like those who are operating there, they don't know any procedure. They don't have qualification. They don't have experience of how to perform that. Na? So the vulnerable patient, particularly women, are being preyed upon by the unqualified individual offering dermatological procedure without medical training, without ethics and without consequences. Dermatology means skin. For example, some skin, they say that if you use your skin became brighter, it will be glows like that, but later on they found that harm their skin. So low awareness among the patient and bourgeois demand for the service contributed to the problem. So this and compounded by rise of social media marketing and online platform allowing the unscrupulous advertise by cleaning to reach vast audience. So I think about in Instagram and other mediums. So how they are claiming that they can help in regrowth of your hair in 7 days, 10 days. So all this advertisement help to people to fall to their prey. So quackery means unqualified doctor they claiming to be expert. Quackery in dermatology involve individual without require medical certification or registration posing as a specialist and performing skin hair related procedure they are not authorized to carry out. These range from the hair transplant, chemical pills, injectable treatment like RPB. So all these things are doing. So what action we need to take? We need to ensure that those who are qualified they need to be take for establish this clinic, and those who are not, we need to take action. Second, we need to have regulation system, we need to proper permissions. National Medical Commission needs to ensure that, so that we can prevent the misuse and abuse. So and health implication is wide. Okay, so that is what all about it. So next important news is ministry say no bilateral sporting ties with the Pakistan. So this is what said by our sport ministry. Because Pakistan repeatedly involved in the terrorist activity. So that is the reason India boycotted. There should not be any sporting activity with Pakistan. We are going to, where we are boycotting the bilateral sporting activity. But in case of wild tournament, we'll participate because we have committed to the Olympic or the world tournament. But bilateral, there should not be any sporting activity between India and Pakistan. Okay? So there's to host NATO troops logistics base. So dear student, you have to study about the NATO, because Russia and USA and war in Ukraine led to the, it is quite important and quite a news. So you have to study about NATO, its relevance, okay? Everything you have to study about it. Okay. So next is recently there are few countries joined the NATO. So you need to know about the list of their name, and how many countries are there, so they can ask about, they can give list of the country and ask how many above are part of the NATO. Okay. Sweden is also part of the NATO, so you need to know it. So next important article is China and Pakistan foreign minister agree to launch new economic corridor project. So we know that already the Pakistan is all weather friend of China, and they are doing a lot of connectivity project. One such connectivity project is Pakistan economic, China Pakistan economic corridor. It is passing through our Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which is a violation of India's sovereignty. But they don't care about other sovereignty, while they are asking everyone to follow their sovereignty. So that is what the double standard that is being followed by the China. Okay. So Pakistan and China pledge to expand economic cooperation in investment in China Pakistan economic corridor, a flagship program of the China Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, so two sides agree to launch new project through the China Pakistan economic corridor. A Pakistani government statement said that the country, but they don't say a detail about it. So the China also started the project called Belt and Road Initiative. This is called BRI, and maritime MSR, maritime silk route. So built under this, built power plant, road, railroad, port around world, and depends on China's relation with, that is what they plan to improve relationship with the Africa, Asia, Latin America. So that simply want to create a hegemony. They want to emerge as a superpower. China want to project as a superpower and topple the USA. So Beijing has invested billions of dollars in Pakistan through China Pakistan economic corridor that try to connect western Xinjiang region with the Arabian Sea, port of Gadar in southeast Pakistan, where some Chinese have been attacked by the insurgents. So this region, the Godar region, so this is what controlled by the Baluch army. This is a terrorist organization. They are fighting and killing the Chinese people. So that is the reason even the Chinese foreign minister, they want security of the Chinese people from the Pakistan army. So deployment of European troops in Ukraine unacceptable, says Russia. So recently there is a peace negotiation that has been going on in Alaska between the USA and Russia, and under that, both agree, as per the Donald Trump, that Russia is agree to provide ensure security guarantee for the Ukrainian, and how they can ensure security guarantee for Ukrainian, so that in future Russia will not attack to the Ukraine. So they said that European troop need to be deployed. European troop need to be deployed in the Ukraine, so that that can ensure the security guarantee. But Russia said that this is unacceptable. Zelensky said that he could meet Putin only after ally agree on security guarantee. Lavrov, Lavrov, the Kiev is not interested in sustainable, fair, and long-term settlement. At least one person killed in the Ukraine. So while there are peace negotiations going on, still Russia is attacking Ukraine so that it can catch more territory. It can have capture more territory and control of the more territory. So Iran, next important news is Iran launched its first navy drill since war with Israel. So 12 days war that has been happened between the Israel and Iran, and later on USA also entered into this war. So Iran launched first military exercise since end of the 12 days war. Israel, the state television reported that. So this exercise is being carried out in the Gulf of Oman. So dear student, we have to map this Gulf of Oman. So where is Gulf of Oman located? You can open your Google Earth. You can just search Gulf of Oman. Gulf of, yes. Okay. So you have to know all these things. Whenever you are finding any map location, simply use this tricks to understand. Because this is very efficient way of finding anything. Okay. चलिए. So vessel launching missile at target sea in the Gulf of Oman and Indian Ocean. So authorities in Iran are trying to project strength in wake up of the war, with Israel destroy air defense system and bomb nuclear facility and other sites. So launch Nashir and Kadir cruise missile that targeting sea, striking them. So that is what they are doing, so that that project the power that they will not going to tolerate any foreign attack in future. So dear student, you can join our prelims test series by scanning this QR code. Okay. And we are also providing daily current affair. So it is comprising of all the detail of daily current affair of all the newspaper. You can also scan this QR code to download our application. It is already available free of cost. Just give me one. Yes, sorry dear student for interruption. So the Rajya Sabha passed real money gaming ban bill company are at the crossroads. So with promotion and regulation of the online gaming bill passed by the Rajya Sabha, so now it is given before the it is pending before the President Draupadi Murmuji to give the assent. So after that, it will be curtain the farms such as Dream 11, MPL, and Pokerbaji with main revenue generating activity being pay to play game. Because in past we are seeing so many family has been their money has been wasted because of this kind of sporting activity. So it is the responsibility of the government and parliament to take strict action against the malpractices in society like the chit fund. So due to online money gaming have led to the several family being destroyed. So quick enforcement. So we need to ensure it's quick enforcement so that they will not misuse and abuse and create problem for the society. So next is Trump tariff will be encourage Indian farm to look beyond the USA. Yes, now USA is our largest export destination, but after 50% tariff being imposed by the USA, so I think this is a good moment for India. We need to diversify our export basket. We need to reduce our cost of export. We need to improve our logistics. We need to ensure the faster clearance. We need to provide more government support so that our industry, our export sector became very resilient. So targeted import tariff by USA and tax policy change enacted through the country one big beautiful bill, which mean Indian farm investing abroad would need to be considered strategic pivot and explore other geography according to the Ernest. So according to the report by the Indian overseas investment has grown to 41.6 of from the 67%. For this Indian investment in USA account for 11. Recently our investment in USA is rapiding very rapidly, but after this you can say the tariff sanction, so our investor and everything need to be very careful, and USA is not much reliable to us. So high time the coal output is increased in India. So this is what said by the coal ministry. So 13th round of auction been going on. No need to go, no fact is given here, just it is given important. So Indian business activity fastest at least 2 decades. So now our business activity is growing very fast. So this is what given by the purchaser manager index. So dear student, recently I have launched my book World Physical and Indian Geography. So this book is written very simplified way. So that is what going to be helpful for your preparation. You can check that in our application. So dear student, also we are providing monthly current affair also. You can check that also. Okay. So chaliye. So next is Center invites Manipur Naga to discuss free movement regime. Center has invited key member of the United Naga Council, Manipur Apex Naga organization to Delhi to talk regarding decision of this to scrap free movement regime. So what is free movement regime? So this is India, Myanmar. So here up to 10 kilometer, the ethnic people they can travel without any visa arrangement. So that is what called free movement regime, but that led to the free movement of the terrorists also na. That also led to the illegal, transportation of goods. So that is what the central government want to scrap the free movement regime and fence the country's 1643 kilometer of Myanmar. Okay, so India Myanmar border check influx and scrap of the free movement regime. So that is the reason they want a discussion. So they want consultation with all the peoples. Four dies after the nitrogen gas leak at pharma farm in the Maharashtra. So these gases, when we are storing any industry, so we need to be extra caution because any leakage can lead to the very fatal. So next is ICSSR, so Indian Council of Social Science Research. So what is the full form of ICSSR? Indian Council of Social Science Research issue so cause notice to the CSDS, Center for Study of Developing Societies, CSDS, for maligning Election Commission alleged irregularity. So so if you look into ISSR, cover up to 90% of the CSDS staff salary and 50% of the administrative cost of the scheme. Recently, they have published a report and later on they deleted. They use, in that report they use some data, that shows Election Commission in a bad light or wrongful way. So that is the reason government has decided to take step against this Center for Study of Developing Society strict action, so that this cannot be misuse the government fund for creating any sort of propaganda. So SpaceX took oxygen leak rocket lightly. This is what said by the ISRO chief. So recently during our astronaut Subhanshu Shukla ji travels to the International Space Station. So there is a leak in the oxygen tank. So they are planning to go ahead with that leak, but ISRO opposed that, and ISRO want full clearance before launching. And after that, they found a big leak. If that could have been avoided, so there can be a big failure of this mission. So you can say the ISRO, it is the insistence of ISRO that led to the success of Axiom 4 missions. Okay, so insistence on full-fledged tests led to the discovery of crack in the fuel line, preventing catastrophic failure of the Axiom 4 missions that carry Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla to the International Space Station. This is what said by the ISRO chief Narayan. Okay. So you can see about the 40-year of experience with the liquid engine. We know what if there is a block somewhere, it can be rectified, but if there is a leak due to crack, it cannot be allowed, because if there is a leak, so that led to the exhaustion of the fuel, or with vibration, that there can be entire fuel can be drained away. So in that case, there will be failure of this launch. So next important article here, it is, you can see about because of disruption the parliamentary proceeding are disruption happening. So that is the reason so many productive hour have been gone. Okay, so I think it is both the government and the opposition, they are responsible. It is not like that only the opposition are responsible. You can shed your tear like the crocodile tear, but reality is that government is equally responsible, because you are only taking the credit, you are not allowing the oppositions to have the discussion. In democracy, the government have to accept that in democracy debate and discussion should be part of it. So while you are taking credit of everything, so you have to be accept your failure also. So while you are not letting any discussion, that is the reason the failure. You cannot show your crocodile to everyone to escape from your responsibility. So this article is given that, but I think it's simply show of nothing else. So notice issued to the informing voter that Aadhaar can be submitted with claim. So recently the special intensive drive that is being going on in the Bihar, completed in Bihar, so that led to the exclusion of 65 lakh peoples. So now those who are excluded, so they can provide Aadhaar details to file their claim. That is what said by the Election Commission of India. This is not directly said by the Election Commission of India. After the case is gone to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court directed to the Election Commission of India, they have to given the option of filing the Aadhaar. So after that, Election Commission given this notice to everyone. So next is ensuring universal registration of birth and death, Register General of India to the state. So now the Register General or central government is having all the power to ensure all the registration of death and birth to all the medical. So it is their responsibility. They have to register or they have to inform within 21 days. So that all the person whosoever maybe need to be registered their birth and death. So Registrar General of India asked the state to take step towards achieving universal registration of the birth and death. Officials were told following the directive of the Supreme Court, all the government hospital have been declared a registrar of birth and death. So hospital have to report within the 21 days. So so that is what according to the Act 2023. So this single birth certificate can be useful for all purpose, like the database with Registrar General of India can be used of taking of the electoral roll, national population registry, ration card. So this birth certificate single document to provide date of birth for various service such as admit card, institution, marriage, everything that can be managed by the single document. Okay. So next is silence. Silence will only embolden the bully. So that is what said by the Chinese ambassador on the reference to the USA. USA is imposing tariff 50% tariff against India in support of that. So the Chinese ambassador said that possible setting the tone for SCO summit. Chinese ambassador to India said that Beijing stands with India criticizing USA over tariff, terming it as a bully. He also made pitch for better relationship in New Delhi 4 year military standoff after the 4 year of military standoff. So you can see China will firmly stand with India on upholding World Trade Organization principle. Okay, so taking direct aim of imposing 50% tariff against India by the USA. So upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So that is being going to held in the China, Tanjing. Uh, Okay, so our Prime Minister have been confirmed the participation there. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will, Russian President and leader from the Central Asia, Pakistan, Iran, and Belarus will host by the Chinese Prime Minister Xi Jinping, Xi Jinping or 11th Jinping. So trade and tariff war has said that disruption multilateral trading system happen. The comment, the comment by diplomats in India about third country. So no, देखो, it is not possible for a diplomat to comment about the third country. So that is clear indication that they just want to set the tone for the SCO summit to have an anti-USA declarations. Okay. So China says that USA has long benefited greatly from the free trade, but now it is using tariff as a bargaining chip to demand exorbitant price from the countries. Okay. So making a pitch for better China-India relationship after 4 years of military standoff. So Chinese pointed to the improvement in over 10 months since Modi ji and Xi Jinping they meet in the Kazan October. So pointing to many more visa high level engagement. Okay. So our trade is having 75 billion, but you have to remember that these are highly skewed in favor of China. So India is having small amount of export and we import a lot of item from the China. So a question about question about the concern about the cross-border terrorism. So China always support Pakistan-based terrorists, sheltering the Pakistan-based terrorists who are acting against the India, and China is also supporting the construction of CPAC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor that is passing through the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. चलिए नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज इज सो हाउ वुमेन माइग्रेंट इलेक्टर आर disenfranchised in Bihar special intensive revision drive. So I don't think no need to go in detail. देखो these are factual, these are statistical details, so they are different for different applications. Just you need to know about this concern so that you can write a very good answer. So election commission which has highlighted the frequent migrant of population from one place to another as a justification for intensive verification drive failed to mention marriage, which is the most common ground for female migration in India. The enumeration of special intensive revision drive in Bihar led to the exclusion of the 65 lakh voter from the draft electoral roll. So what did data show? The aggregative data published by the Election Commission revealed that permanent migrant as a predominant cause for deletion of the name electoral roll as on June. So which was based on the 65 lakh total deleted. Okay. So 55 entries were categorized as permanently shifted. So out of that 55% name has been deleted because of permanently shifted, 34 because of disease means died, and 10.8 because they have multiple voter ID. So these are things no need to go in detail. So next is what has the NTTO said about the organ donations to women. So what does the data say about the organ donation? So if you look into the data, so more number of women are being donating the organs, but while receiving, it is the least amount we're receiving. So that is what there is a exist discrimination in the donation and acceptance. So National Organ Tissue Transplantation Organization recently issued a directive stating that women, patient, and relative of deceased donor will receive priority in organ allocation. So now women will get more priority as compared to men. So 10-point advisory aim at addressing gender disparity in organ transplantation and encouraging donations. So Indian organ transplantation paradox, women, while they are donating more amount of organs, but they are receiving the least. So NTTO said that 63% of all living organs from 2019 to 2013 were women, yet men receive most of the organs, accounting for 69. That means we are prioritizing life of men are more important as compared to life of women. So this is what gender discrimination at the level of even the donation of organs also. The data further said that the past 5 year women made 36,000 uh, uh, of 56 lakh organ donation in India, yet only 17,000 were transplanted into women. So that means we are giving more priority to the women in terms of transplantation and donation. More women are giving. That means we are consider women lives are less important than the men life are more valued. Okay, so what law oversees about organ donation? Central government has established NTTO, so National Tissue Transplantation Organization, is an apex body to oversees organ donation. Each hospital of the country which engage transplantation activity, whether in retrieval or transplantation, must link with the NTTO. So this there is an act that is governing the organ donation, that is Transplantation of Human Organs Act. Okay, so the act recent advisory by the NTTO Act asked the state government to create a permanent post of the transplantation coordination hospital that perform the organ transplantation and retrieval, so that they can have proper coordination. So what is the status of organ donation? If you look into at the world level, 1.3 organ lakh organ donation happening each and every year. So that is what met only 10% of the worldwide need. So country with higher awareness and streamlined donor system achieve more significant, while on the other hand, if there is no system, so that is what led to the low transplantation. An organ donor can be anyway whose healthy organs can be transplanted to the patient in urgent need. So these organs donation after the, so who can donate a organ? So after their brain death, this person can donate their organs. Okay. So every year 1.8 lakhs Indian develop end stage kidney disease, yet only 12,000 are transplanted. That means less than 10% they can getting. So if a person is brain dead, so that person can save 8% life. Okay na? Even small increase in organ donation rates could help thousands of patients get second chance to life. Na? So a doctor note that lack of awareness, cultural myth, and hesitance to discuss organ donation within the family remain biggest obstacles. So we need to create a lot of awareness. We need to make people motivate to organ donates. A single donor can save up to 8 lives through the organ donation and enhance many more organ tissue like cornea and skin. So appeal made for organs. So according to the information release, so we need to create more awareness. We need to create, this is a noble cause. We need to give awards to those who have been donated. So then only we can see more people participate here. Just a minute. So dear student, I'm really sorry for. चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं. So the why Sri Lanka Tamils flag militarization. So there is a civil war that is being in Sri Lanka. So there is a civil war that is going on between LTT, that is LETT. So they are fighting for independence of northern and eastern Sri Lanka versus Sri Lankan government. And after that, Sri Lanka government deployed and killed civilian and all this militant. So that led to the end of civil war. But still, end of the civil war, it is seen that a huge amount of military already being deployed in the northern and eastern portion of the Sri Lanka. So Tamil party called as a symbolic hartal across the Tamil majority northern and eastern to protect militarization of the former war zone. 16 years after Sri Lankan armed force crushed the LTTE, Business and commercial establishment across the northern eastern provinces remain shut for few hours in the morning, while some remain open. So that is what they are. Why they are opposing? They are opposing because 32-year-old person has been killed by the military. So that led to the protest. That led to the the oppressive conduct and excessive presence of military in northern eastern. After war ended, government has promised to hold thorough investigation and bring perpetrator to the book. Those who involved in the killing. During the civil war, there is a forced kidnapping and disappearance of the so many Tamilians. So yet their family not get yet justice, and the land is also captured by the military. This land not yet returned, and this reason being militarized. So that is what they are concerned. So they just want demilitarization and land need to be restored so that they can carry out their activity. So that is the article is all about. So next is too tired while the championship do more harm than good. So recently what we are doing, we are dividing entire, let's say, 12 test playing nation. We are dividing into six group A, six group B. So they will play with one another, and after that there will be four, five, four nations. So they'll go for semi-final. So just read it. So nowadays UPSC is also asking regarding in interview they can ask about some, if your hobby is cricket playing, so they can ask about all these things. So please start reading from now onwards. Justice is not about teaching someone's a lesson. So recently what happened, recently we have seen rising instances of the custodial death. The people particularly from the lower strata of the society like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, they are being repeatedly harassed and killed in the judicial custody. So recently a judgment on custodial death of the Chhattisgarh High Court made observation that should unsettle anyone who believe rule of law. So Dalit men arrested for allegedly public misbehaving die in custody after hour of medical checkup found no injury. But post-mortem revealed that 26 wound, 4 police officers are convicted of murder by the trial court. But later High Court reduced it to the culpable of homicide, citing lack of intent but knowledge that assault could cause the death. So you can see about despite the fact that this person is died in the police custody, so High Court taken very lenient view. So that is what going to give wrong message. So that is what this article is talking about. So in different part, how we have seen that how police are using excess to simply if anyone arguing with police, they simply abuse, violate, and they simply kill in the police custody. So that is what happening. So it is a high time we need to reform our police. We need to bring radical reform. We need to change the attitude. We need to punish those who are involved in such act. Na? So next is poll integrity and self-supporters party and the election commission of India. Recently we have seen, once our election commission is known for its impartiality, lot of respect from the eyes of people during the time of, I think about election commission TN session. So in ethics, if you want to write about integrity, honesty, dedications, spirit of service, you can talk about TN session. Once used to be person who is bring about lot of electoral reform. So acquire the greatest teeth to curb the electoral malpractice, transform self into a most powerful electoral regulatory body of the world. Election Commission proactively implemented model code of conduct, monitor poll expenses, mandated using electoral photo identity card, and prevent bogus voting. Not surprisingly, numerous citizen survey in the subsequent decades show that election commission gain the credibility. But nowadays the role of election commission is being questioned by the opposition people because of its role in because of its role and opaque nature of its functioning. So that is what it is talking about. And this article is also talking about nowadays what happening, the we are using digital media. So our tough leader, they are reaching out with the of the local level officials directly, bypassing all these officials. So that led to the hierarchical structure from the local level to the national level is missing. So when this hierarchical structure is missing, so in case of any voter, during the voter verification, so there is a booth level a worker, so they are not able to verify all this error. If they can able to verify this error timely, so that can lead to the prevention of such occurring. So no doubt we need to use the digital media to reach out to the voter, reach out to the local parties, while at the same time that should be a party structure, national level, then below state level, then district level, block level, so that there should be a proper structure in the political also. The democracy democratic things we need to be established there also, so that we can ensure proper functioning. While at the same time, election commission need to be very impartial. We need to ensure their appointment. Now the chief elections CEC is appointed by the uh, commissioner is appointed by the PM, LOP, and cabinet minister. So we need to prevent this cabinet minister. In place of that, it is should be CJI, Chief Justice of India. Then only we should ensure that those who are appointed as an election commission, that person should be very much neutral. Okay. So next important article is law lawfare politics. So federal politics must not be undermine the name of the probity. So I think recently the home ministry, the Ministry of Home Affairs, uh, enter a bill that make criminalization or criminal, remove any politician, remove the chief minister and prime minister from the office if they have been charged and in jail for more than 30 days. This is what they are intended objective. This they want to make, bring probity, or remove the corrupt element, or criminal element from the politics. Though it look like the intent is very good, but if you look into reality, so last few days, last few months, you have seen that how the central agency like CBI, ED, they have been arresting the opposition members, and they are putting them behind the bars. So it is very easy for the prime minister or those who are at the central government, so it is easy for them to target, arrest any chief minister by false implication. They can use, if you look into Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita, there are provision where it is talking about more than 5 year of imprisonment, and they can held anyone for more than 30 days. Let's say I just want to remove the ex state chief minister, simply use some false case, arrest that chief minister for more than 30 days, and then remove this chief minister, and that chief minister place some puppets, and later on you can hijack this power. So that is what the main intent behind that. So ultimately, yes, that is what going to be violate the federalism. So we have to respect that, because we cannot topple the democratically elected government so long they enjoy the majority. No doubt, if center is very serious, so they need to bring about a real law. So that is what prevent the criminal element. So if you look into that, 47% of, when 43% of our MPs having criminal charges against them. If center is very serious, they can make law on that also. ठीक है. So this article is talking about that only. ठीक है. So dear student, this is all about 22nd August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and please do share this video with your friends, so that a lot of student can benefit from it. So dear student, we'll have to end here. चलिए, bye bye, take care, have a good day, bye.